10 more mistakes. One student made most of these mistakes, so if he's watching, I hope he can already correct them all. So when you're making a list, he was talking about what he did in English to practice. I do exercises, I watch TV, and at last I read books. Now, at last is the problem here. At last means finally, eventually. It doesn't mean lastly. Okay? What you mean here is, and lastly, that's the adverb you need for when you're making a list. Firstly, secondly, thirdly, and lastly, I read books. Number 2, we thought about to buy a small house, he said. It's wrong. After prepositions, we need to use gerund. So please use buying. Yeah, we thought about buying a new house. Number 3, 2 similar mistakes for number 3. The same with, similar as. No, the same as and similar to. He is similar to me. Their house looks the same as our house. Okay, number 4. It was antlers on her head. Now, antlers are the horns which deers have, and this was from the film True Detective, where unfortunately a girl had been murdered. And the mistake is actually very simple, and it's made by a lot of advanced speakers. We don't say it was antlers, we say there were. I mean, or there was. If it's singular as well, we would say there was, but we wouldn't say it was, okay? We would say there were. It's like when you talk about your room, you describe the house that you visited last week. You say, there were 4 rooms, or there were 10 rooms. You don't say it were, or it was, or it's. You say there were. When you're describing, there are as well. Okay, number 5. They don't know something about each other. This is a negative, and so this should be anything about each other. They don't know anything about each other. Use anything in questions and negatives. Okay, number 6. He had divorced with his wife. Here you have used too many prepositions, because you don't need one. He had divorced his wife. Okay, number 7. He's a historic. He's a politic. No, historic is an adjective, and it means something which is from history. If something is world historic, or it's important history for the world. So if something is historic, it's connected to it's the adjective for history. It's not the noun. The noun of someone who teaches history is historian. Okay, historian. And the noun for someone who works in politics is politician. Okay, number 8. They stopped speak about this at all. Now again, there are 2 mistakes here. The first mistake is here. After stop we use gerund. They stopped speaking about this. Now at all doesn't work here, because at all is only for negative sentences, like I don't smoke at all, or I don't drink at all. But this is not a negative sentence, it's positive. So we need to just say they completely stopped speaking about this. Yeah, they completely stopped. So we need to use an adverb over here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, number 9, he asked a cup of tea. If you're going to use a noun after ask, always remember there must be the word for. He asked for help. He asked for some money. Number 10, he said that she died a few years earlier. It's not correct because of a few years earlier. This is a few years before the act of talking. So this is your past simple moment. If it's before past simple, you need to use had. You need to make it past perfect. He said that she had died. And you should remember that when you say he said that, she told me that, when you report speech, or when you report events actually, but when you use words like said, told, these words are past simple, very often they report something earlier, and so very often you need past perfect after said or told. And some other words which report speech. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please put them under the video, and I hope to see you all soon.